Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. I don't quite know what I'm gonna call this video or anything. I'm just going with the flow. I'm creating a process for how to go about life, and it's really what I'm doing right now is trying to communicate exactly what's on my mind as clearly as possible for the person listening. Not for myself, for the other person. That's the thing with the communication. But so the reason I did this, I came up with my process, or like put it down on paper, like after some discussions with some bros, I guess, and the alpha, the one alpha I have in this life, Andreas Opti. Han heter Andreas Holm, but Opti is what it, like Opti Holm is what he goes by. And he's my kind of Jesus. He's the only man, you know. It's not that I look down on anyone else, but you can see people are on the same path as you. Sometimes some people just aren't yet, but some are on the same path. So you don't like look down on them. You just know sometimes that I've come further on this path. This is the one man that I don't see as behind me on the path or beside me on the path, but ahead of me on the path. He inspires me. He gives me ideas for how to go about life. The only one that I knows better about every single thing I know. He knows just as well or better. But so I see the way I'm influenced in the way I communicate from him, because that's what it's really about, life on this earth. Raising our collective consciousness by communicating, expressing ourselves to each other, not expressing something else to someone else, but expressing us to the other person. And so the way, okay, so I'm in this amazing flow state right now. That's what I figured out, like what I'm really doing here in my life, or what we're doing here on life, and like whether we know it or not, is like trusting God. You must find God before it finds you, because you create God in a sense. It's like, do you believe in God? It's the wrong question in a sense. It's like, do you understand God? How deeply do you understand or grasp God? And when you grasp it, you're not gonna always do that. It's a high and low state thing I talk about. But then that's when you're stoic and have to know things, even when you can't experience them directly like that. But so really, what we're doing all the time here, we're trying to optimize our experience on Earth. That's really all there is to it. Like sometimes even I put out a video with ego, about ego yesterday. It's like, it's difficult when you're, in 97% of the cases, you're just saying what you're saying for the other person and not for yourself. And so when I have very high energy, and still most of the things, overwhelmingly the things I do are good, some bad comes out, but we're really, when we can connect completely, do you know that feeling? You have, I've had that since I was little, that some people, it doesn't feel like you're talking with them, that you are with them. It feels like you're beside them, like the words are going somewhere else. It's not to you, it's not coming from them or to you. But anyway, let's talk about the process then. So behind the process, we're trying to figure out the universe, and let me actually get the paper. Well, let's say it like this. This is my message right now. The ideal I'm putting forth, the worldview I am putting forth to you here. That you have to trust in so far if you can't see it for yourself. You just have to trust in it. Trust in me and it before you have it for yourself. But so the fundamental law of how things just flow in the universe is predictable randomness. There is a lot of things you can predict, but some that you cannot. But when you see the code like Matrix, like Neo in Matrix, it's like you can predict it even when you can't predict it. And so you wanna, from this point, you wanna figure out the universe, like every little single aspect. How do things work? Communication with people, gravity, the laws of physics, my body, when I use it, what happens, la-di-da-di-da, and so on. All the kind of knowledge by experience. That's the thing, or that's the thing. All knowledge in school right now is like the intellectual one from reading other people's ideas, and it's great. It's a shortcut to ideas, but you don't truly have ideas until you experience it. You have someone else's idea until you experience it for yourself, right? So you want to figure out the universe. and then optimize. Just optimize every little fucking thing you can. And so it's really about, in the end, all the decisions. We're you know, I made the decision now. I feel all day. Because the reason I'm doing this is because I have kind of a rest day for myself today. Maybe I'll go into, I want to get the ideas about the process out first, but I'll go, yeah, that thing. Let me pause. You see, I'm tired. I lose my, even in a high state. Yeah, well, you want to optimize every little thing that you can by, you know, all the micro decisions that you do. It's a decision that I do because I'm tired. I had to rest today. I was like, shall I even do videos? Because this is the thing. We have a lot of voice saying what we should do and why and all this, you know. But if the voice is always telling the truth, you know, you have to figure out, and you do that by reading yourself, understanding yourself. Communication, it's you have to learn it with yourself, understanding what you tell yourself and how that influences you and all that, and how you go about it with other people. So, and yeah, this is what we do. We optimize the being a human being. That's what we're doing with this, you know. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm coming closer and closer to the core of the truth. The thing is, we will all never get fully there. That's the whole thing with this experience too. We're gonna level up our ideal. Our ego is gonna die many deaths, and you know, every time when you go to sleep, you die, and a new you wakes up the next day. And so, what you can predict, you know, most of your days might look about the same. Predict and opti. You think ahead, so that even within the little randomness that happens within this routine, you can always handle it. That's how I go about my life now. Right now, not to go too deep into it, but just so you get the point. I've been focusing on work. I've been super speeded, and I maybe have thought ahead that I'm going to train more than I do. But I go down. I do it still, but I just do way less. And this can lead me to, okay, so finally, when you have a good process going and it's almost difficult to see what you could improve. This is what happened me and Opti Holm, my Jesus, like I said. When you look at us, you might feel like yeah, the way I feel when I look at him, you might feel like when you look at me, like, how the fuck can he do all this shit? But it's like, I'm not special. I have just it's the process that flows through me that's special, not me. That's the thing. So you gotta go with the flow, and then to keep it short, because fear is the thing that comes next after going with the flow. And I realized that the fear, because I wrote this is all, they just wrote it as it came out yesterday evening. Actually maybe put in the picture of it here, but fear, and when I put that, it's last in the list. When I put the arrow back and forth, because that's where you are after flowing. How fear is gonna come, but fear is the mind killer, and I shall face my fear. And when I have faced my fears, allowed it to flow through me, over me, all that shall remain is the I. So that's, you get over, when you can think of it also, that little fear process, like almost just little discomfort process. It's like sometimes you manage your energy, you know, like a thing like doing the dishes. Sometimes maybe it's the right thing to put it off to later because you actually need resting, but sometimes you're just lazy. And if you will have this thing with the micro decisions and awareness that you're doing, you're always like, is it the right thing to skip it now? And so the voice will tell you the truth, and when you hear the truth, you can kind of always make the right decision. Like, yeah, that's true. You know, like, this is what I should be doing. So this is what I'm doing today, for instance. Like, you know what? Let's not go into the other thing about the process I was going to talk about, because now I've talked about kind of my fundamental, like, just philosophy. But I did actually write like a program. Like my program, what the things I coach in, the tools I use, the way things I use to structure up people's lives so that they become more like me, their version on the same path we're walking, you know. So I think that's pretty good, because this is kind of just a philosophy. And yeah, let me know in the comments, would you like to hear a video about that, or just reach out, you know. It's a Solar Night Academy, and what I actually came up with, I'll say this, when you flow, things just align in a extreme, when you can predict the randomness again, things just kind of fall into place by themselves. Like all the things, I've been spamming out text on my Instagram story, like the extrovert I am, and with the picture that I just take quickly, I don't think too much into it, it always lines in, like this little view here, this view. Can you see the view? So of course it's in the nature of the thing that now it doesn't look all that nice, but when, the way I looked with the view there, but you know, it just has to be fucking like that when I want to show you how nice the view is. But when I fit the text into all the things, it's not just here, it just aligns perfectly. It's just nice. And sometimes I have to stop and make little micro optimizations, but if I allow it to flow, it's nice. So when I put down all the tools I use, like training, sunlight, all that, you know, it just kind of looked like a carrot shape, the text. So it's the carrot method. The Solarize, I call it in the post, I think. This is micro optimization. The carrot method sounds better, even if it's ridiculous. But then, oh yeah, I called it the carrot process. I think that's kind of, I mean, process, or yeah, let me know which one do you think is best. We ending the video here. It's interesting, what will I call this video? I don't know, because I very often know the title of the video before I post it, or about what I'm gonna like, just to, like, have an idea of what I don't really know what I'm gonna call this video. It's when you just allow flow to happen, you know, instead of this is what I gotta do, this is the thing I'm gonna explain to them. No, just explain. I just tell you how it is. So please like and comment, please guys, help me. I'm gonna do a video about this too, but do you know how to grow muscle? It's by grinding, consistently doing the little same thing over and over again. That's why I ask you so much. This is a hard workout I'm doing, I don't know, but a significant one, high intensity, as much as I have to give right now, yeah, you know, I had to grind to grow my channel. It's the same. Do you see these patterns in the universe? This is what the process is like. Figuring out the universe, optimizing the things you see so that things align into your favor. It's actually like this. All the shittiest things that happen in your life. Think the most terrible thing. Always. Like, it's terrible the way you experience it in a moment, but you can always align things after that point so that you know, we don't think about the singular events as good or bad in the past. In the past we can't do that. We may feel something here, right here and now, but in the past we've just arranged our lives so that it just fits into the story, because we're very happy and content and peaceful in this moment. And you see, this was the story, you know, that led to this, so how can you possibly worry? This is what I teach in my process, guys. Please reach out if you want my coaching too. I'm happy to interact and talk with you everywhere, you know, as much as I can. But you that feel like I need more personal access to Theo's thoughts and input on me, communicating with me, expressing myself with Theo, understanding each other better, please let me know, guys. Yeah, subscribe for the content. Peace.